I'm Geoff Nemnich.
And I'm Rick Paillet.
And we're the hosts of The Last Stand. Coyote hunting is my passion.
And coyote calls are my livelihood.
And together we aim to bring you the best predator hunting tips, tricks, and tactics, right down to The Last Stand.
The Last Stand, presented by Lucky Duck Predator Calls. We are the masters of deception. Daniel Defense, manufacturing freedom. Swagger Bipods, shoot with confidence, shoot with swagger. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable.
Second morning in Kansas, we're walking into our first stand of the day. It's gonna be a little bit different type of day. It's only supposed to be a high of about 30 today. The wind's supposed to blow 20 to 25, so the game plan for today is to get down in super tight stuff. We got our good buddy Dustin Patterson with us. He's gonna be carrying the shotgun all day. Hopefully, I would think most of our coyote kills are gonna be with that shotgun, but real windy conditions, we're looking to get down into the tightest cover we can find. Hopefully that's where the coyotes are gonna be. Should be fast responses. We're gonna sit on stands maybe 6 to 8 minutes. We're gonna cover lots of ground. So our second stand of the morning, we get into a thick patch of a pasture, cedar trees all over. The pasture grass is a couple feet high, but we have enough visibility to make it happen.
Favorite stand here, below my dad's house. Growed over pasture full of cedar trees. Caught a lot of stuff in here in the last 30 years. Got Dustin right here in front of me to my right. Shotgun. We got the wind gusting to 30 mile an hour. We're gonna see what we can do. A lot of cats in here. Probably play shoulder belt. They usually come from the left, right around just 30 yards to the left of us, show up right out in front of the call.
So we all get packed in our little evergreens, and I turn on shoulder belt because I'm trying to call a cat in, and it's windier and crap. I'm about half disappointed because of how the wind's acting, and all of a sudden up on the hill straight east of us, here comes Mr. Coyote, and he's checking up, looking around. I think he's gonna swing down. The wind was from left to right to Geoff's side where he was, and he started swinging down there, and then he curved back in. I guess that's just how he wanted to come to the call, and he come perfect, and Patterson smashed him.
We're in super, super tight stuff. It's tight enough with the trees, but the grass is tall enough. The guys are off to my left about 10, 20 yards. I think they saw this coyote coming through this gap over here. I didn't see him till he's right here in front of us, about 20 yards. Dustin laid the hammer on him with the shotgun. It's only been about 2 minutes. We're gonna keep calling.
Oh man, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm happy. Hang in there. We ain't done yet.
Dustin's a pretty good buddy of mine, and He's a coyote slaying, shotgun running son of a gun. I'll give him that, man. I don't know anybody else that loves to kill coyotes with a shotgun as much as Dustin does. So bam, that one down. I'm like, man, that was quick. I'm not gonna go to pup just yet. I'm gonna keep the rabbit going, and then I tried this, and then I tried a bird. You know, I'm always thinking about a cat, especially where I grew up in that area. And I think I tried a couple of different birds, and all of a sudden here comes this sneaky coyote. At first I thought it was a bobcat. It was real low to the ground, creeping around. It was already almost downwind. It come in there from the right, and you see something? And then it kind of, I don't know if it seen us or we didn't get it stopped. I don't even know if we tried to get it. It just kind of happened so fast, and it swung around there to the left and disappeared. And Dustin seen it right before it got there, and I mean, it was spitting distance. And then he had a misfire. He reloaded some shotgun shells, and I don't know if something was wrong with the powder or something wrong with the primer, but he was just sick. But
the coyote kind of turned around and ran back into the brush without another shot being fired. But we're not giving up, because, you know, that coyote maybe wasn't spooked, so Rick starts rolling through some pup distresses.
Me and Dustin were sitting there with our daubers down, and oh man, even kind of, you know, and I actually changed to a different pup distress, and
Might come back, so I don't know. I never seen a coyote act like that before.
daubers down. That's what happens when something goes down the toilet on you, and not paying attention, and all of a sudden, boom, I hear Geoff shoot. I'm like, what's he doing? Well, there's a coyote at the freaking call running out of there. It come in there like somebody shot it in there off a slingshot.
I didn't even see that, Dustin. Where was it at? Was he leaving?
No, on the way up to the call and went left.
There's a coyote just came to the call?
Yeah.
I didn't even see it. I flat didn't even see that coyote, so.
Now my dauber's really down, but I snap out of it and get on the game and play another pup fight.
We think, you know, maybe these coyotes, there's more in here. So Rick changes the pup distress again. And it's not 2 minutes later, another coyote, whether it's the same coyote or a fourth coyote, who knows, but it came right on the same path. And Rick saw this one right over the call. Coming right at the call. Ready? Nice.
All right. So I just got done changing up to another pup fight, and another coyote came in. So after you whack one, you need to play a pup fight, and then you need to play another one. We might not be done yet. That's why Dustin and I love the thick stuff.
Man, we just had a wild stand. I mean, it's thick. First coyote came in. I didn't even see the coyote till he was 20 yards. Dustin shotgunned it. A few minutes later, we had one slip. I had him stop right here in the grass at about 40 yards. I just didn't have a great shot, and he was working his way right up to the call. He gets back over here, and I don't know what happened. There was a click or something at the gun. He ran off. Rick switched up the sound. We had a coyote come hard right at the call, right out in front of those guys. They didn't shoot. The coyote actually turned around and leave, and I was letting it go, thinking, and finally I had one, I don't know, maybe a 50-yard headshot bouncing through the grass. I don't think I hit it. Rick switched up the sound again, and we had I don't know if it's the same coyote or a third coyote or a fourth coyote, came right in and it stopped just right out here in front of them about 40 yards, and it sounded like Rick shot it with the rifle. I know we for sure have 2 coyotes, maybe 3. Well, let's go meet up with these guys and get the scoop. They had a little bit better vantage point than I did. Oh, you can see the coyotes laying dead. Look at this. You got one laying right there. This was a pretty one right here. The second one, I did have a shot at him, but he was coming to the call. I'm like, all right, I'd let him go right down here.
That was the weirdest damn coyote I ever seen. Looked like a bobcat.
Little dinky one, wasn't
he? Yeah.
When I whacked this one, he turned and looked right at you guys.
This is the stuff I like, guys. After an awesome hunt, everybody's all like,
Yeah, except for my gun.
So what, does that make you nervous about the rest of the day, or is that like only
My
happening?
gun's full of powder now.
We'll go to the old man's real quick.
I don't want to waste time.
I got some of that Hornady 3-inch BB. If you want to run interested in it.
I should have had a triple right there.
Old Patterson, he likes them close. Rick likes them close like this too. We're about 12 feet from the call. Yeah, you can see right here, see those lines going down the side of that coyote? That was some of the, he shot him chest on, that was some of the pellets raking down the side of that coyote, causing those stripes like that. That's pretty cool. I've never seen that a whole lot. Kind of mangy, wire haired on the back. Dude, you striped this coyote. Look at this. Like you down his side, all the pellets like striped him. Look at that. Look at that. You ever seen that?
That's a short, stocky little dog.
Yeah.
That's pretty coming out of there. Look like a white ghost.
Yeah, it did.
Right up front, Max, don't move. And then he kind of got a little nervous there, you know, and he walked up, look at that, boom.
That's what we're looking for right there. Action-packed, good, tight, close footage. I don't know. I feel good.
So as we're walking into the stand, it's a fairly wide open stand for what we had just got done calling, but within a 200-300 yard radius of where we're gonna set up, there's a lot of thick stuff. And there's a lot of different angles to cover. So between myself and Dustin and Rick, we decided to spread out a little bit. I was gonna cover the downwind side. It was a little more wide open, so I kept a camera with me. Dustin and the other camera kind of went off the point, thinking if we had a hard charging coyote right up the fence line, he could shotgun that. And then Rick actually put himself up by a cedar tree off to the right where he could cover, you know, more of that side. Rick fires up the call, and this coyote couldn't have been laid up in some cedar trees, you know, 300 yards out in front of us, and it starts coming to the call. And the way it was approaching the angle it was coming, I thought for sure Dustin was gonna shotgun this coyote, but it gets to about 80, 90 yards, and it looks hard off to its left and turns and leaves. And which was really weird, you know. At that point, I start thinking, well, maybe there's another coyote. So we're watching this coyote kind of work his way up the tree line, and he starts working his way around.
Geoff's got my attention, and he's probably 60 yards away from me, and I'm trying not to look because we have a coyote coming a couple hundred yards away. So
Can't hear you.
I just kind of blowed him off, you know, and then.
But I happened to scan back into the area I was supposed to be covering, and here was a coyote had his head down on a dead run, you know, 50 yards out in front of me, coming right up to the call. The coyote got about 15 yards behind Dustin and peeled out of there, and I was able to get the gun on him, and he was kind of quartering away about 75, 80 yards and tucked one right up behind his ribs and cartwheeled him. God, he was right behind him. Jeez. How crazy is that? We haven't been playing the call for 2 minutes. We had a coyote come hard, and he got right to the fence and he just spooked off. I was kind of looking for this coyote. I was trying to get Rick's attention to have him switch to a pup distress, just to maybe call that one back in. And just off to our left here, this coyote running 50 yards right in front of us, coming right to the call, but Dustin and Sean couldn't see it. And he got right behind Dustin about 20 yards, and he kind of turned and bolted out, and I had to shoot him running here about 60, 70 yards.
I'm like, man, I hope he got good footage of that, because we had a coyote coming, and the one that was coming on our side, it tore out of there and left. So I changed up sounds, and Eric come back again, and it got behind these plum thickets, and it tore out of there and left. And I changed up sounds. I don't remember what I'd played, but it kept coming back to about everything I played. And oh, I turned coon distress on, and it came to that.
He keeps coming back. Where'd he go?
And I settled in on it and made a good shot, heart shot again, and he tore out of there and piled up about 50 yards later.
I think Rick might have got him in heart. Let's see. I think it's the same coyote we've been messing with. He just didn't want to leave. Very well could be the very first coyote that came in and peeled out. I shot the second coyote. This coyote finally, he was just down in this draw right here going back and forth. He finally got him to come back this way. Rick hit him right here. I don't know. He kind of whipped around a bit and then took off running down in there. So let's go find out. Could have a double. Definitely got one for sure. He was quartering away just a little bit.
You mean he come up here and seen him and started?
Yeah, he come on a hard run and then went whoop.
Well,
just
the one that come through right here must have seen us.
No, it looked over here. It saw those other coyotes, I think.
Oh.
And it looked and then.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering what the. Okay.
So we're all looking over here.
Yeah.
This one came through.
Hey.
Hey,
we can go. We can
got
drive.
two.
There's a red gate right there. We can drive right
Could
up
have been
here.
a heck of a lot worse.
Yeah, that was good. I really didn't want to bring him here, but
Yeah, that was good. It's okay.
So then the wind kept picking up and we had a dry spell that pretty much lasted most of the rest of the day.
You know, wind is a double-edged sword sometimes. You know, when you're using any of the Lucky Duck calls, especially the Revolt or the Revolution, the volume those calls put out is second to none. So when I'm hunting in a 15, 20, 25 mile an hour wind, you know, I'm confident that that call is carrying out there and landing on ears of coyotes as far as that coyote's gonna want to come to the call. But sometimes the wind, you know, is more uncomfortable for us than anything, and you know, you just don't feel like the call's carrying out there as far as it should. You know, coyotes are kind of hunkered down. They're not wanting to come from as far distances, you know, and I think that was the case this day. We made some great looking stands. I just don't think we got within 200, 300, 400 yards of any coyotes that day, throughout that middle part of the day anyway.
You keep pushing, but after some days, you know, it got so windy and nothing was moving, and I was taking it. We were going to spots where I had not been, and some of my best stuff.
So we're hoping that the wind's gonna die down right at dark, but it never really did. So we get into this last stand of the day. We walk probably 600 yards down through a cut milo field, and we get to where it's dirt. We got a huge creek bottom that runs along the highway, and we get set up and the wind is just pounding us right in the face. Super cold. The temperature's now down in the high 20s.
My eyes were watering, and I honestly needed another layer of clothes as well. Turned shoulder belt on, and man, thinking about it, I really gave a shoulder belt a workout this weekend. I'm kind of really not paying attention. I'm just wishing the day would get over, honestly.
And it's not, you know, 2 minutes and the coyote pops out of the tree line at 150 yards. And he's not convinced. You know, a lot of times when you're calling, you know, thick cover and open ground, the coyotes aren't always gonna come running right across the wide open ground. You know, a lot of times they wanna follow that edge of cover, try to get downwind, and that's what this coyote did. Our wind was blowing from right to left, and that coyote got out into the open where he could cover some ground, but he wasn't so sure, so he starts following the tree line, headed for the downwind side. And Rick was able to get him stopped and pumped a bullet right through the coyote's heart. You know, the coyote didn't even trip up really. It took off running, but I think he put another bullet in it for good measure, but the coyote ran about 50, 60 yards and died on the run. So yeah, there's lots of different theories. Guys that have been coyote hunting long enough have all kinds of different theories about weather and what it does to coyotes and whatnot. You know, but one thing I've found out over the years, if you have a day with lots of wind and cold, and you think maybe the coyotes are just tucked in tight that day, and you look at the forecast the next day and it's supposed to be less wind, a little nicer, sunnier, there's a good chance coyotes are going to be up and on the move, and you know, expectations for a final day in Kansas were high.